tariffs.
The EU's strategy to deal with Donald Trump's tariffs is based both on short-term measures and also on potential long-term measures as well. The short-term measures include possible retaliatory tariffs in case these tariffs do continue as they have been discussed, but at the same time keeping channels of communication open as possible in order to secure that detail. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, in fact, said this Wednesday at the German Parliament that he expects that trade agreement to be signed until the end of this month and that he's cautiously optimistic, and he's echoing with that cautious optimism what we also hear from other leaders in the European Union. For the European Union, any idea of high tariffs, any potential problem with high tariffs is extremely controversial. The European Union is to a large extent based on free trade, and especially any kind of problem with the United States, one of its closest trade partners, is very problematic indeed. The goal from the European Union's perspective would be to keep the tariffs as low as possible, while at the same time making sure that they can still work with the United States in very important issues around the world, not only trade, but basically keeping those channels of communication open so that the relationship can be as good as possible.
And how concerned are European leaders about the potential economic impacts of these trade disputes?
European leaders are indeed concerned about the potential impact that has to do again with the fact that the European Union places great value on free trade, but also it's based on the fact that European economies are having a very difficult time. The German economy also in particular is having a very difficult time in recent years. So there is essentially concern. There is also hope that that deal can be achieved soon. But at the same time, we're hearing from different European leaders the call that Europe, and in particular European Union countries, should reduce the dependency towards the United States. And that essentially means the EU is looking for other trade partnerships around the world, with Asia-Pacific countries, with South America, also with African countries. So this is part of the strategy as well. The European public is also concerned, especially about the concrete impact of potential tariffs, for example, on economic growth, on higher prices, on lower wages, on job losses. Those are all issues that are certainly a matter of concern for European citizens.
And the EU and Germany have proposed a new world trade body aimed at bypassing the long-standing paralysis of the World Trade Organization. How likely is that to come about?
You mentioned that long-standing paralysis at the WTO, and that is indeed a matter of concern for European leaders, and that's why German leader Friedrich Merz, but also the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, actually floated that idea of another global institution. Now, those who favor that say that it could help deal with this paralysis that you mentioned, but at the same time there are criticisms from those who believe that it would create fragmentation, that it would not necessarily be efficient, especially if countries, big countries like China, the United States, India, do not sign up for that, and it could actually create more problems than solutions. So far, experts are stressing that this is only an idea that is being floated, that is not something that will necessarily be implemented immediately, but that could actually create a wider debate on a very important topic, and that topic is obviously global trade and how to deal with potential disputes.
OK, many thanks indeed for that. Really appreciate it. Spanish police believe Liverpool star Diogo Jota was likely speeding when he and his brother Andre Silva crashed their sports car and were killed.